Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. This episode we work on the new old truck. Stay tuned. Alright, so this week we're taking a short little break away from this. We're going to work on this one. I'm going to throw some fender flares on this old whitey here. Okay, got the old truck out of the way. I'll show you what's going on here. This is my 2013 GMC Sierra half ton. And got a set of fender flares for it. Do I like fender flares? To be honest, not really, but if you own this Sierra truck, this body style, you know that GM really cheaped out on the paint jobs. They terrible. Let me show you. Just don't mind the chips there and there, that's fine. Around the wheel wells. Look at this. Paint just flaking off. And even up on the roof here, like that's just from normal driving and maybe the odd car wash. So I don't know. Still love this truck, but the paint on it is something to be desired. So should I go to the body shop, get them to fix it properly? Maybe. What's the cheaper way to fix the issue? Just cover it up so your fenders rust out a lot worse. Worry about it in a few years. Maybe the next guy that owns a truck will fix it properly. But okay, so these are Bushwacker brand. They are the Extenda-Fender, so they won't go all the way up to that body line, I don't think, maybe halfway up, but it'll cover up all the paint issues I got right there. And right there. I mean, whatever. And then maybe I can throw some wider rims and tires on here eventually. But yeah. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take all the mud flaps off the truck and get a clean slate to work with. Pro tip, when installing fender flares, make sure you use all different size hardware to mount them up. Heck, even throw a Robertson screw in there just for good measure, so you really deter the mud flap thieves. Alright, flaps are off, ready to continue. The kit comes with all the mounting hardware you need. This black edging to go around the edges on the flares, and a good old set of instructions. I'm going to follow those this time. Yeah, okay, get at it. So far, the hardest part of this install is getting this black edging crap on the top sides of these fenders. Keep on trucking. Okay, so the instructions say put the flare on and just put these two bolts in first, or these screws I guess, and leave them fairly loose because we're going to take the flare off anyways. Again, then it tells you to push up, line up the flare where you want it, and then we got to mark some holes here for these mounting areas. Okay. Figured I'd bring you in here and show you what kind of hardware they supply to install these flares. I don't know if you can see them or not. There's a clip there that a screw goes in. Same with over there. And you got these here. So easy to install, no drilling required, but just a personal opinion, it seems kind of flimsy. You'd think there'd be something more solid holding them on, but these flares don't weigh anything, so not a big deal. But okay, we'll get them put on here. First flare's on, no big deal. Like I said, I don't really like the hardware that it comes with to mount them, but this is still kind of loose, but I'll make sure I push that up in there tight when I put the mud flaps back on, and we'll drill something through here. But okay, 25% done. We'll carry on to the other side. So backs are complete. I'm not 100% happy. Like, this mounting hardware is just so flimsy. I don't know. Probably gonna later on end up taking the tires off and drilling holes and putting actual like small like stainless nuts and bolts through there, but back is complete. And basically that's all the hardware they gave you. The kit comes with the hardware to do the back. To do the fronts, I'm gonna take the wheels off anyways up here to do this, but I think you have to pull all the hardware out that holds your inner fender in and then use that stuff. So I also might look at different hardware as well, but just stop the video here and I'll carry on tomorrow when I get some better hardware and whatnot, get a better game plan. Okay, see you tomorrow. All right, so it's the next day in TV land. Picked up some better hardware, probably overkill, maybe they're too long, who knows, whatever, it'll work. Got the tires off. I'm just gonna go in here, get rid of these little cheap screws, drill some holes, and physically bolt that on there so it'll stay a little longer. I just didn't like the hardware that came with the kit, so okay, we'll get to her. So that time lapse was taking way too long. So I just went ahead and bolted her up, bring you in here. I don't know if you can, yeah. 1-inch screws were a little bit overkill, but oh well. I think I'm shaking the whole truck now just by pulling on the fender flares, so a lot better than the hardware they send in the kit. So I'm gonna get the tire back on, swap over to the other side, do the same thing, finish her up, and I'll bring you back when I'm working on the fronts. Truck flipped around, got the front tire off, ready to install the front there. Got them all set up. I got this optional piece here put on. The flares themselves come with multiple sizes because these flares can go on a 1/2-ton truck, 3/4-ton truck, whatever. So that bottom piece that goes on the bumper, there's different sizes. So just choose the one that fits your truck. And like I said earlier in the video, the biggest pain so far has just been meticulously getting this rubber edging on here. But anyways, front fenders they're going to be a flimsy install too, I think. I'll address that at a later date, but I'll show you what we got going on here. So the front flares only get held on with 6 screws. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here where I had in the mud flap 5, 6, right? So essentially the tiny screws that hold your inner fender in is what holds the flares on. So we'll get to her and I'll bring you back in when I get them put on. Front flare is installed. Just the mounting hardware that holds the inner fender in. And it'll be more solid too once you throw the mud flaps on, but that's that. Get the tire back on, finish up the other side. Truck is completely finished. All the flares are on. Overall, very happy with the product, but like I said, use your own bolt up for the back if you feel like it. The front's actually pretty solid, all the holes lined up perfect. Still yet to decide what I want to do for mud flaps. I might just go with a different set, like, I'm not even sure yet, so we'll finish the video here. And if you guys liked it, you know, hit like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and we'll see you guys next time.